Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Today's episode of the Mike O'Mara Show is brought to you by our bonus packages. Please go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and click on the bonus banner. You'll get access to all of our bonus content, and even better, you'll be helping out TMOS. So please quit sucking, and we thank you.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store, and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
You know, radio is a difficult business. It is a tough way to make a living. When we joke about it with people that ask us, "Hey, how do you get into the business of radio?" we really chuckle because not because we don't love what we do, and not because it's not exciting to be on a microphone, and not because it's great to be on the very lowest rung of the showbiz ladder, because it is. It's great. It's what I've done my whole life. I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have this every day. This is my, for 50 years of my life, this is what I've done. I was, a little less than 50 years, more like 43, 44 years. I was 15 years old when I started being interested in radio. I loved it. And it's so much fun to be in this business and to have an opportunity to be in this business at this juncture because of the way we're doing it. I would really, as I reflect upon it based on the way the business of radio broadcasting has gone, I would have very little interest in being in it in a normal way. But doing what we do, controlling our own destiny, having our own podcast, having a core of listenership that is so supportive of what we do, it has been, I'm not going to say maybe. No, it isn't. It is the most gratifying part of my career. The last 10 years of my career have been the most enjoyable going away. I have thoroughly enjoyed it, and I have been rewarded greatly in radio in years past, much more so than I am rewarded by doing this podcast, but I love doing what I do right now. And one of the reasons I make this statement is when I reflect on what we've been through with radio format changes, with broadcast entities, I'm probably coming at this from a negative point of view, and let me tell you why. Because I empathize with the guys that perform, with the people that turn on the microphones, and they're all over the country, whether it be local morning shows, whether it be syndicated regional shows, whether it be nationally syndicated shows. The guys that are in front of this microphone that do that every single day are very fortunate because they're out there. They're the voice of it. They get the accolades. They get the attention, and that's what they crave in most cases. The worst part of the business of what we do is the business of what we do, because supervising these men that talk and women that talk into microphones are layers and layers and layers of management and corporations and people that really, make constant decisions of what's new, what's fresh, what will make more money. There's tremendous pressure on these people to perform financially, and because of that, the guys and gals that do this, that do the performing, are really the hired help and kind of pawns in a very, very cold and difficult game, because that's why these people do not have job security, no matter where they are. I had a 20-year run with Don, which is just a miracle in the radio business. And the fact that I am doing this now with a podcast and continuing because of the listenership that we got through syndication is even more of a miracle, and I'm thrilled to do it. So, in Washington, D.C., when a radio station goes belly up, because they have sold to another company that has no interest in keeping the people that work at the radio station, it brings back memories. And so the radio station is next door to the radio station I worked on in Washington, The Edge. Mix 107.3 was the most recent incarnation, and they are having their farewell broadcast today. And it is interesting because I really always thought of them as kind of bulletproof, and then I realized, well, you're not bulletproof if you're working for the company that ended up changing formats for me. This company, Cumulus, was just so misguided, and there's so many of these suits that just change. There's very little stability in radio formatting. It just doesn't exist. They're always under pressure. They're always reacting, and so this radio station went belly up. They ended up selling their radio station to a Christian syndicator that's going to put Christian programming from a satellite on Mix 107.3. So that's a radio station that's been around D.C. for a long, long time. If you really think about it, they all kind of go away eventually. They really do. They do. They just don't stay. You don't have that stay. Television stations, different story. You got Channel 9, you got Channel 4. They'll be around for a long time. That's just the way it goes. Radio, not so much. So today, they're making a big deal over there that the big news is that Mix 107.3 with Jack Diamond, who I worked side by side with for about a year, is going bye-bye, and he's been doing his jackiest jacking all week long, doing his he's a very serious-minded guy who's in a business that's kind of silly. He laughs, he's got a sense of humor, but he loves the serious business of radio. He loves to tell that to his listeners, and it's fun to watch because Jack is Jack. He is who he is. He's been who he is. I've worked for the guy at different radio stations that he's worked at. He was my boss for a while. It didn't go that well.
Dyed in the wool is what he is. He is very, very solid and very unitask. He's radio. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then he was very nice to me when I went to the Edge and worked at the radio station across the hall. In fact, he's the guy that let me know that the station was changing formats. Actually let me know. Statute of limitations is up on that. So we all began to pay attention to the demise of this radio station because it's just, and then Oscar and Rob hit me to the fact that Jack got online and was doing a kind of a post-mortem about the demise of the station, and in his studio talking about the ratings, and that's when it was just it's a bummer. It's a bummer to watch it because I've lived it. Now, Rob calls me this morning, and Rob is, if anything, a radiophile. Rob is like all of you fans that listen to me.
And in a way, that's a strength I bring. It's a strength I bring, I think.
Sure.
Because,
we'll go with that.
Well, if you don't even know your own history, you need me to know your history.
I know. But you called today. Well, we're up on the gun, and you say, hey, Jim Elliott's on Q107. And I'm like, I'm here in Florida. I'm not going to go online and listen to Jim Elliott.
Didn't expect you to. Didn't expect you. Just wanted to let you know.
You're excited.
I was.
You are as excited as a little boy can be. You are just bouncing off the wall because you, at heart, are a radiophile.
Well, I love what I do.
I am not a radiophile.
No, you're not.
I am a radio personality.
Yeah.
And I have been for most of my adult life. So
who's Jim Elliott?
He was the morning show host at Q107 before it was Mix 107.3.
Cool.
And he worked with, it was Elliott and Woodside.
Q107.
And then they flipped to Mix 107.3 when everybody was flipping to Mix 107.3.
Got it.
That station will always be Q107 to me. One of the great radio ad campaigns in the history of radio was the Q107 girl, where they had the beautiful model with just a portrait shot of her, and she's lip syncing to the personalities.
So great.
Absolute brilliant radio campaign, maybe the best I've ever seen. You can look it up online and see. Look up Q107 radio commercial, and it was fantastic.
See, he's still talking about it 40 years later. I still remember it 40 years later.
Who's the radiophile?
Well, I'm saying that.
Both are.
No. He's a personality that remembers a great campaign. I'm just like, how come she sounds so much like Uncle Johnny?
No, but when you called today, I remember watching that last night, and I come at it from a different perspective than you do, because as much as it's fun to say, hey, all these old guys are coming back on, and laugh about it a little bit, I still feel the bitterness and the bitterness of a radio station going bye-bye. And if you will remember, when they unceremoniously made their little format flip over WJFK,
right,
I said, let me just record a last hour. I hate the big retrospective, because I'm like, there's no need for it if the powers that be can do their jobs properly and figure out how to sell these wonderful personalities that give their blood, sweat, and tears. There's no need to have this last day on these radio stations that in some way I've always perceived it as benefiting the people that F them over. I'm sorry, I will always look at it like that.
Radio is a very immediate, in the now medium. It's the way it's always been.
Yes.
It's reactionary. You can act right now, and so it's not as good to look back on radio. I think radio exists best in the present.
Or the only ones that look back at it. The average listener moves on.
That's right, and I think that's important to know.
And so they're bringing all these old disc jockeys back, and obviously, you know what? I'm going to put it in a positive light,
okay?
Because even at these are a bunch of people that are losing their gigs, and I know that there are people over at Mix 107.3 that contacted people like Jim Elliott and Scott Woodside and brought these people back and put this all together for a last farewell show, including Jack. I'm sure he had a lot to do with it. And the level of professional integrity for people that are doing that. And, even I was ready to go, F you, I didn't want it. I only managed to record a last hour. Was it a last hour that I did?
Yeah, it was an hour. Mm-hmm.
And I just, because it wasn't on my terms. And, I was not thrilled with the way it was done. It was done in a way that so many radio stations do that. These guys are out the door. Who knows where they're going to be working? They'll land on their feet. They've got enough bounce where they'll be doing that, hopefully. And they take the time to give people one last little hurrah as a salute to the radio station. And I think that's very professional. But it just pisses me off.
As a guy who went the other direction and actually played ball, Mike, it wasn't any different. It was the same result, and it wasn't about not being able to say goodbye. It was more about, man, I'm working for 3 months, and at that point, almost 4 months, knowing what's going to happen here. And every day you go to work because that's what you do.
Right.
And you wouldn't say anything until they would tell you, like, roughly 2 months out there, like, oh, you know the station's flipping. You got to keep doing your job and smile and pretend like that's not happening.
Right.
But more importantly, like, the goodbyes for the audience. And to do that, and if you have the chance to do it on your terms, it looks like Jack does, then that's their choice, and I completely get that.
Right.
But the goodbye also, for the talent side, if it's not on your terms, I completely agree with what you did. Because if they're not going to give you what you want.
I felt I had to say something.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel like... Well, in my case, it was a little different in that the radio station ownership was the same.
Yes.
So they were
That's
continuing.
true. Yeah.
I'm not going to give them a big splash for that because they didn't do anything for me. And that's kind of the way I looked at it. But it's always just such a drag. It is a line of... In many, 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 many jobs, you perform at a high level and you do a really, really nice job. And if you do that, you're going to probably have yourself a nice little career. Mm-hmm. And there are other jobs, like radio, where you perform at a high level and you do your job and you do it, and you get screwed anyway because there are people that control the purse strings and make the decisions. That's what they do. And it should be pointed out that in radio, in television, in movies, in all of show business, it's constant... What's the next big idea?
Right.
What's the next thing? And you're a victim of that. You really are. And then when you get to a successful level, they look at your paycheck.
Yeah.
And that's a factor too. That comes into play as well. And it's a tough situation. So
Can I ask
what
you a
I say to
question?
young people, go ahead.
You've been at this a long time. I mean, we've all been at it a long time, but you've been at it a really long time. And I think back to when you were doing mornings on WAVA. And let's call it, just for, round terms, let's say it's 30 years ago, okay?
Yeah.
30 years ago, was it a less, how shall I say, combative relationship between talent and corporate? Because it seemed like there was like more of a sense of fun and more respect for talent then. Were you fooling us? Was the industry fooling us?
No, there was not.
You wouldn't be able to hear about it.
Yeah,
I guess
you're right.
It was the same thing.
You just wouldn't
it
know.
was the same thing. It was, hey, the corporate guys are coming into town right from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
The corporate guys are coming into town. It was always the corporate guys coming into town. It was always, this is going on. Don't do this. Don't do this. We survived because we had good ratings.
Right.
And then the only difference I would tell you is that it became more fragmented. That more radio stations, more. When there were less people doing it, it's tough. And then the behemoths, survived. The Howards survived. There are only a couple of guys that managed to do that. Rush Limbaugh survived. The Hannitys survived. Survive amazing bumps in the road when you consider the content that Limbaugh has done, where he's gotten in such amazing trouble. He continues to survive, and that's that's just a small number of people. But no, it's always my memory is that it was always tweaking, always selling,
right.
always moving different people in. That's and people coming and going in a rapid business. And so it was to have a good run. And by the way, that was a 2 radio station run.
Yeah,
that we had. And then I had a little run after Don was gone, and then started this. I'll never forget. And it's with supreme respect. If someone came to our podcast and wanted to corporatize it, wanted to jump in, it would have to be something very
Mike
special.
has said no even before conversations have started, because it just.
I like
it would
what
change
we do.
Everything.
Doesn't this cement it a little bit, Oscar? When you see
I wrote
what goes on,
to you. I said we are so fortunate not to be in that terrible business.
We are. We have,
and that's
fights.
what it is.
That's literally what I wrote to Mike. I said we are so fortunate not to be in that terrible business.
The
anymore.
three of us have
thumbs
fights.
up it quick.
The three of us have fights. We have we
It's not easy.
Argue with each other. It's not easy, but we punch through it, and ultimately, at the end. And one of the reasons,
wonderful listeners, Jesus Christ,
I tell you, it's the listeners that keep us chugging along. So over at Q107 across the street, Mix 107.3, they're doing. Well, you tell me. I didn't hear it, so you tell me. What are they up to over there?
They're bringing back a lot of people from the past. Some of them are phone, some of them are in studio. Like this morning, I heard Barbara Britt, who was his first news lady some 30 years ago, came in and sat down with him. Jim Elliott and Scott Woodside phoned in. They were a morning show, and also Jim Elliott, you worked alongside at WAVA. That's one of the things that
tortured the man. Because we competed against him, and so we tortured him when he came over.
Bert?
I didn't hear Bert. Did hear our friend Dude Walker and Scott Woodside. Dude Walker and Doug Limerick. I had not heard them on the air together.
Dude and Doug preceded Elliott and Woodside.
Yeah, and they were, and Dude was great as always. Just charming and lots
I love
of good
Doug
numbers.
Limerick too. I'm a huge fan of Doug Limerick.
You would have loved it. He did all his catchphrases for them for ABC News.
He was the DJ, and then he became. Cool. Everybody grew up listening to him on ABC News. Where it's for ABC News, I'm Doug Limerick. You had to hear that guy. But that guy, and he was super tall.
Yes.
And I remember he came to American University where we were doing a muscular dystrophy benefit, and I remember looking at him, and I said, oh, man, I want to be that dude, that Mr. Cool guy. Hey, how about a forecast? Can you read the weather for us, Doug? It's going to be 75 in the burbs. The Burbs.
Burbs.
Never heard the Burbs before. I loved it.
But the
great DJ.
The reason I called you,
Mr. Dude Walker is still got a cool about him,
oh,
right?
He's great. He's the best. Cool. And the reason that I called you about Jim Elliott is because I first knew of Jim Elliott through your torture of him on the radio, and then many years later got to meet him at a disc jockey convention and found him to be very nice and got to hang out with him, and I had been drinking, it was
you are so full of crap.
How am I full of crap?
Found him to be nice.
He was nice to me that night.
Give our listeners the honest show you give all of us.
But he was
when
nice.
you talk about an ass he was to you.
Listen, no, he was not an ass to me.
God.
He was nice to me, but he was an ass. And the quote I remember is that I was letting, he was just talking. I was eating it up because he's a disc jockey I grew up with. And at one point he said, now, I wonder where I parked my $80,000 automobile.
Yeah, and he's showing off in front of you.
So he was showing off. And you know what? In a way, to me, that was nice, okay?
How's that nice?
It was just nice. It was he let me hang around him. So there you go.
Right.
But
anyway,
but Mike, I wanted to tell you this is they were talking about how
yes. Yeah.
I'll try to keep this brief.
Okay.
They were talking about how when
stand next to him.
When Elliott and Woodside came to Q107, they got an amazing contract, a legendary contract.
Oh, they did.
And they asked him about it, and he said, "I don't want to talk about money, but I do remember a $25,000 signing bonus."
That's funny. That is funny.
So
because they were on WPGC before that. So back in the day, every market has this. Every market, it's changed a little bit. It's the homogenization of radio where voice tracking and management has insinuated itself so much that it's really, really hard to deal with, and you just don't get what you
Why
used
do I
to
feel
get.
like he's just going to go to another radio station? Like
Jack?
Yeah, they might as well just put him on.
Jack will go. I get the total. watching his farewell.
What's
It sounds like they've got another gig.
he keeps implying that he has something ready to go.
No, well, that radio that he does, with supreme respect to Jack Diamond, I'm sorry, I'll say it, with total respect to Jack, I mean, that's a very safe show to put anywhere.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's not like me,
no.
Where I'm talking about farts.
This is more about the radio station than Jack going away.
Yeah, this is the radio station. But Jack, I think, and we'll let you know when it really happens. I think Jack's a real super survivor.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Jack, went on that hiatus for a year where he wigged out and he went to other radio stations where he'd last for 2 weeks, and they still hired him back.
I'm out of
He's
here.
got a magic touch. I had an agent for like 2 years that I'm going, please, give me anything, please. Moline. Get me Moline.
Maybe it's because you didn't wig out.
I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe he scares people, but no. I think that his crew will do fine. I got that from Jeff, but you can't also, you have to take everything he says with a grain of salt.
He is at his heart a disc jockey.
We're going to be fine. Maybe he's going to do a podcast.
But I also, a podcast with music is tough.
It is.
It is. Tough.
He could do a Jack cast.
I've seen enough shows across the country. Some of them have succeeded, but if they are music heavy, they have to really work around the rights, and that is a big financial hurdle.
Maybe we could focus on content.
Was anybody calling in on this?
They didn't. Show? I didn't. I only listened for about an hour and 15 minutes because that was.
They might have recorded some stuff too.
No, it all seemed live because I saw that he was streaming it, but there were no listener calls.
And this is why. Look, and Jack could probably. I would say he would be successful because of his name, and I imagine that if you can do what he's done for so many years, you could actually have a long format interview, which would work, right? But an ensemble cast built around music and daily.
That won't happen, probably. No, but it might happen. It might land on another radio station.
That's what I'm
saying.
There built around music has to happen, I think, at a radio station.
So where's the drive? Where's that?
94.7.
Is that ours? Our old employer?
Entercom.
It's Entercom. That's where I think he's going to end up.
Radio is no longer.
I think that's where he's going to end up. I said that 3 months ago.
Well, call CK and ask him if he knows.
It wasn't his choice.
Let me text him.
Wasn't his choice to hire him.
Text CK.
Ask CK if Jack Diamond's coming to the drive.
Hey, are you interested in a Jack cast?
Is Tommy McFly gone? Is he fired?
I believe he is no longer in the market.
He's no longer there.
No, but we've got...
You know what I love? You know what makes me happy? You guys are as disengaged and you're in the market still. I like that.
Well, Mike, the market has ceased to exist. There's no radio in this town anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's unfortunate. So
sometimes I'll listen to WTOP to find out the traffic.
Mike asked me to text you and see what the story with Jack Diamond is. Is he going to the drive? Is that fair?
That's good.
Okay. Thank you.
Why don't you don't want to take ownership of that question?
Well, I
guess he wants you want to get it up the flagpole.
Well, it's not like me just randomly going to work and asking,
Parenthetically, say that Jack Diamond knows sports, and you may want to look into
it. Mike suggests that if Chad has another tantrum, anyway, no, that's funny.
Hey, did you see the Capitals?
This personality. For those of you around the country, my apologies. Hey, how you doing? Boy, oh boy, those Nationals are sure having a tough time at the plate. Hey,
tough night for the Bullets.
Yeah, this is great. And this is the drive I made. Coming every day right up River Road. It was all right. I'm sorry. That's it. You know what? I want to keep it on the high level. To all the people over there at Mix. Jack and Jimmy, you guys were super nice to me when I was over there. To Jim Elliott, a legendary personality. To Scott Woodside, I never knew Scott Woodside at all, and
he's in the funeral business now.
Right. Is it? By the way, is the right wing station going away too, or are they keeping that one?
Oh, they're staying.
Yeah, some people are very lucky. That's
they should bring
rises to the top.
They should bring back Tom Gager.
If I'm not mistaken, Cumulus is continuing to own that station.
That stick.
Yeah, that stick. Right. They're not selling their entire portfolio.
Yeah, of course they'd keep that one. Chris D. Plant. All right, thank you very much. Start the show. Thank you very much.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business. From the entertainment capital of the world.
2:15 p.m. We had been advised to follow up on a theft at 88-23467 Magnolia Boulevard. At this time of day, it took us 20 minutes to get there. The complainant was the landlady, one Enid Borden.
hell do you want?
Police officers, ma'am.
About time you pencil dick showed up. Why couldn't you have got here before that big, bad, stupid-looking piece of sewage breath stole my white wedding dress?
Miss Borden, sewage breath would be your little nickname for...
Muzz. Emil Muzz. That asswipe also stiffed me for 2 months' rent when his deposit check bounced. Goddamn pus-faced little pimp stick. All that was left in this room was a big box of these things.
Any idea where this Emil Muzz could be right now? Friends, family?
Nah, he was a loner. Took off in the middle of the night. Useless scum-lapping shitbag.
Just the facts, ma'am. He leave anything else behind?
Yeah, tape deck, which I had to sell to make up for the lost rent, so there's nothing you can do about it, you slimy little jizz bucket.
Yes, ma'am, although I should point out to you that technically you could be cited for swearing at us like that.
Says who, flathead?
Says the California Penal Code, section 314.1, covering obscene live conduct in public. Good enough for you, lady?
No checks or money, I looked. I should have thrown it all in the river the day he left, but unlike some people, I have a heart, goddammit. That miserable little bag of puke.
Frank's late.
Wow.
Must have been held up in traffic.
Frank won't be coming in today, Joe.
24-hour virus.
Or tomorrow.
48.
Frank quit. Bought a goat farm. Moved to Ukiah. Left you this note. He was too broken up to talk about it. Said he knew you'd understand.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's Mike.
We are live from the Podcast Village studios in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. TMOS to our friends. It's a worldwide podcast and radio show with a family of listeners who are unrivaled in their love and support for their program. From Gettysburg, Pennsylvania to Vienna, Austria. From Raleigh, North Carolina to Torino, Italy. From Frankfurt, Germany to Speedway, Indiana. The Mike O'Mara Show is on now and brought to you by Sleep Number. You've heard me talk how much I love my Sleep Number, but I do. I love it. If you've considered a Sleep Number bed, but you thought, I can't afford one, think about how much it will benefit you.
Yes.
And think about if you can really afford another restless night's sleep. There's never been a better time to save on proven quality sleep now during the Memorial Day sale. A Queen 360 smart bed starts at only $9.99. So many couples disagree on mattress firmness. Sleep Number 360 smart beds let you choose your firmness on each side. That is smart. The Sleep Number 360 smart beds are so smart, they sense your every move and automatically adjust to you so you sleep comfortably throughout the night. My Sleep Number setting is an 85. Carla's is a 65, and we love it. Come in during the Memorial Day sale and save $1,000 on a new Sleep Number 360 special edition smart bed for temperature balancing comfort at an exceptional value. Remember, you'll only find Sleep Number at one of their 575 Sleep Number stores nationwide. Visit sleepnumber.com/TMOS to find the one nearest you. And as Doug Limerick likes to say, and when you do, tell him that Mike O'Mara sent you.
In the burbs.
I'm Doug Limerick. Just got a text from CK,
Oh, good.
Chris Kennard, who tells me, yes, Jack Diamond will be starting on the drive
Oh, that's
Monday.
great. That's good news.
I did not get that CC back.
Oh, you didn't get
You
that?
went right to the
probably-
top.
Right to the top.
Since you gave my names. Thank
So,
you,
Mike,
Chris, for
are
that update.
you excited? Because I was looking at the calendar today, and did you realize that tomorrow, we won't be on the air tomorrow, but tomorrow is the beginning of birthday season.
Ah, yes, June is bursting out all over. How special that will be. Yeah, we are going to be, I think we leave at 5:45 in the morning tomorrow.
Oh, that doesn't work for me. You got to do 6.
5:45.
Got to do 6.
Yeah, we'll be out and up in the
You guys should be excited.
New
Yeah.
England.
Birthday season is a beautiful time in New England.
It's June in New England. Maybe I'll write a song.
I think you should.
Yeah, sure.
Did you watch the Scripps Spelling Bee at all last night?
I did. Is it happening? Is it in our nation's capital?
It is in
that
our
where it's
nation's
happening?
capital.
Where they usually have it.
They had. I watched it for a good hour. It was that or the NBA Finals. Ask me what's wrong with my life. And
I'm shocked you can spell NBA.
I'm sitting there and
Raptors.
I'm watching this with Rob Ford, and
oh, boy.
it's roughly 8:00. And
You're here at Podcast Village?
yes, we just finished up our project. So I bought him dinner. We're sitting there eating our
No way you're profiting on that.
our Peruvian chicken. And I said, let's keep the spelling bee on, forget about the NBA Finals. And we're watching these kids. and this girl gets up. By the way, there was, spoiler alert, 8 winners because they tie at the end.
8-way tie.
They
That's
got to
right.
split the pot.
I love their theme music for the spelling bee. That's my. I always you always know when you hear it that it sounds.
How's it go?
Can I? It's this. All right.
Yes.
I'm happy you mentioned that.
Okay. Sorry.
So Rob and I, and I don't know if this is appropriate. Who cares? I was like, there's not like a token white kid. Like, let's get a token involved. Like,
they don't even have a token. They don't even have a token.
This girl gets up,
John,
and I don't have her name,
Smith,
but she looks like she's a substitute teacher. And
That's a good description.
And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh my god. There's got to be something online about this lady not being 12 years old.
Right.
Because she looks really, really old.
Yeah, she looks like a substitute teacher. And she's
in her
getting
20s.
everything. Yes. If anybody's watched Pen 15 on Netflix, it's the same setup. It's the same setup. The white girl that gets up. Yes. She seems nice enough, but she looks like she's in Pen 15 trying to act like she's 12.
So the white girl looks older.
Yeah, she looks older.
All right.
Now, I only mention that for further context when you're sitting there and you're like, oh, who would have thought in a world of what I would say the melting pot and acceptance and inclusion that Rob and I, especially me, of all people, is rooting for Whitey. And
I'm looking at her right now. They just had her on. She have red hair?
Yes.
Oh, my God. She was just on CNN. I'm looking at my monitor over here.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Yes. So
she's like 6'8".
She looks like she's a cast member, one of the main cast members that wrote Pen 15.
Now, if you don't know, Mike, Pen 15 is a show about middle school where all the characters are played by middle schoolers except the leads, who are played by full-grown women. And it takes you about 8 minutes to get past the fact that these are full-grown women that are in middle school, and it is one of the funniest shows I've ever seen on Netflix.
So I'm sitting there, and we're literally like you're rooting for a championship. Rooting for the underdog.
Meanwhile, she's up there saying, could I have a derivation, please?
And I said, I know this isn't racist, but I feel wrong about saying we got to root for the token. We got to root for.
Hey,
right?
Why not?
I was like,
sure.
Hey,
okay, it's not racist.
She's the underdog. She may be cheating, and she may have a PhD, but she's the underdog.
She's the underdog.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's okay. I mean, it just shows that over the years, I think the ethnicity of the winners have been from India.
It's true.
Primarily, right?
I think statistically we'll bear that out, yes.
Not that it matters, but
Also,
that's it. They excel in that. Certain Indian children excel in spelling.
This is taking a deep dive, Mike. A deep dive. The host.
We all know that right now we're wandering through the forest with quicksand, and we're not really, even though we're doing a podcast, we're sitting there going, okay, are we okay here? I think we're okay here.
Okay.
I really do.
And I know that both of you are.
Sometimes you got to root for the underdog, and Whitey is the underdog.
Hank Haney, just the other day on his Sirius show, the famed golf teacher stepped in a giant mud pie because he was talking about the LPGA, and he got in horrible trouble because he said, when talking about the LPGA and the championship coming up, he said, well, I bet you a Korean will win. That's what he said,
Okay,
and that was
in that tone.
I didn't hear the tone. I didn't hear it.
And up until then, I always thought LPGA was a Spanish golf tour.
Like ELPGA.
Yeah, I was going the way it sounded. LPGA.
As a Latino, I'm not insulted. So
you shouldn't be. You should not be.
You're a moron. So we said, look, Rob, we have to see how far she goes. And then as we're rooting for this one substitute teacher that infiltrated this competition. Which, by the way,
she infiltrated it.
If they're going to split the money, they should give $1 million, not 50K.
Can I make a point before you continue?
Does nothing.
No, they all get 50K.
Each one?
Can I make one point before I forget it? Because I want to make sure.
Yes.
And I'll ask you, as the resident minority on the Mike O'Mara show, I will ask you your opinion of this. When Hank Haney, and Rob's absolutely right, it's all about tone. It's all about the tone he takes. But if we are making jokes about the fact that on the Ladies Professional Golf Association, a tremendous amount of success from South Korean women is had, that aren't we celebrating that to a certain extent? Aren't we mocking the fact that we, the White Devils, are not in the same ballpark. And isn't it the same thing
tone.
with the spelling bee?
That's a category.
When we talk about the fact that there is a token white girl that's in the aren't we, in a way, celebrating the fact that the Indian Americans are excelling?
I don't think we're look. I don't. This show is one of the most inclusive shows in America.
That's true.
I agree.
We are not.
I agree.
I'm letting you know what one Latino and one white man are doing at 8 p.m. at night. Instead of watching the NBA Finals, we're rooting for the substitute teacher who happens to be white in a predominantly.
Thank you for your support.
I guess what it was American and I would say of ethnic heritage from India / Bangladesh.
Okay.
Right? So we're there. And you at this point you think nothing can take us away from this except for when they go to a pre-produced package. And this is basically ESPN like the way they set it up.
I love having Carla, thank you for putting my CNN monitor on because I'm seeing the trophy being handed out right now. And there she is. She's not as tall as I thought she was.
But on television she looks like she's like maybe at least maybe getting her master's.
Would you think is she the tallest contestant though?
No, it's the way that she was dressed was like she was dressed like a 30-year-old.
Okay.
I am looking at the lovely Allison Camerata with John Berman on CNN, and we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 children and one red-haired grown woman.
Yeah,
it looks
that's
like
what I know.
Looks like she's proctoring the SATs.
She's the chaperone on the field trip to DC.
Find a buddy. Find a buddy.
Is her name Erin? Is her name Erin
almost
Oscar?
100% sure. Yes.
Yes, Erin. And I am not trying to be controversial. I cannot pronounce the other first names. I am sorry, but it's true.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Also, somebody get that lady's birth certificate.
Shruthika.
Aaron, somebody get it.
You're a birther.
Now, Mike, you're going into dangerous territory.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the names. I'm looking at they're all set up. They've got name tags around them. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'll stop.
So one kid was from Clarksville, Maryland. We were rooting for a hometown guy. Didn't work out for him, I don't think. So we
spell the word crab.
They go to a pre-produced package of the spelling bee, like you would in sports, a highlight of somebody.
Sure, to cover something. Yeah.
So they were probably a time gap, or some kid passed out, like they do every year.
Right.
And then they go to the pre-produced package.
Maybe Aaron needed a cigarette.
It's the host. Pony, find the host, the host's name for the spelling bee, please, if you don't mind. The host on television the night of the spelling bee live looks good. He looks like he's
they had a co-champion.
They have 8 of them.
They have 8 champions.
It's an 8-way tie.
All 8 people want.
It was an 8-way tie.
Yeah,
that's why it made history.
Yeah, that's why it made history.
Oh, that's awesome. That's pretty cool.
So,
I like that.
The host, and we'll get his name in a second, looks great on camera, live on TV. They go to a pre-produced package, and Mike, if this is, I kid you not, this has got to be online, and they were talking about this on Twitter.
Okay.
Where whoever shot him for this pre-produced package was like, you want to know more about me? Like, I like to do this. I'm into science. And why do I know about words? Yada, yada, yada. He had, I think, a mole lanced off.
Oh, no.
Prior to this package being filmed, and nobody put makeup on him. He was bleeding the entire time. And they played this.
Wow.
On
one
television.
Of the kids? One of the 8?
No.
This is the host.
The host. A grown man.
Oh, the host was bleeding.
A man in his 50s.
He had a gusher.
He had a gusher the entire time, and I said, this man is hated by the crew.
Yes,
no
that's
one
what it
wanted
boils
to
down
put
to.
makeup on him. They could have put a little foundation, right? A little dab will do you.
Something.
The man
That's awesome.
looked
Shoot
like
him
he
in
was,
his profile.
It looked like it was done on purpose.
Wow.
So at that point, Rob and I said, we can't eat and watch this anymore. We have to switch it to another channel. But
my Peruvian chicken tastes like copper.
Yes.
So
congratulations to all those wonderful kids that tied. They all were great. That's
I'm shocked
awesome.
that Oscar brought up the spelling bee. I didn't think that was in his purview. Do you consider yourself a good speller?
Yeah, relatively.
You?
There are words that I block on.
Thank God.
I have a couple. You know, one of my tripping.
Embarrassment is one that I have trouble.
License. I never can spell the word
Spell
license.
congressman. Good luck.
CONGRESSMAN.
I have 12 of the
That was
final.
an easy one.
I have 12 of the final words that they used on the spelling bee. If you'd like to take a crack at it. I was going to use this in the bonus show, but
just briefly, one of our podcasts. Wait, do you have the name?
Yeah, it's Jacques Bailey.
Okay, that guy.
Jacques?
Or is it Jacques?
He's Jacques.
Jacques.
I hate ponies sometimes.
Okay.
You know what?
I know, he's such a moron. Honest to God. Jacques, how is it spelled?
It is Jacques.
Jock.
That's Jacques.
Jock.
Oh, whatever.
Not Jacques.
Jacques.
Hi, my name is Matt Bloom, and I work with a guy named O'Mara. His first name is Michael. We should break.
need to break.
We can do the words when we come back.
All right, we'll come back and spell. And Pony's trying to be like, Jacques.
Oh, I got this. Look, Oscar asked me something, and only 10 minutes later, I have the answer.
We'll take a break and come back with our little spelling competition right here on the Mike O'Mara Show. Greetings from Moscow. This is your Russian BFF Vladimir Putin. Here in Mother Russia, all is well. Comrades are enjoying temperate climate, cordial government, and much cabbage and state-provided cheese. Never you are hungry. Everything we have here, except for one thing. We do not have O'Mara Mike Show podcast. State-controlled internet is limited to WebMD and right-wing game compulsive. Lucky for you, you can get personal and close-up contact with Mike, Robsky, and Mario on November 16th in Las Vegas, Nevada, at Most Excellent Zippos headquarters. Get tickets at MikeO'MaraShow.com. This is second show that is different from first show. Go to both. You'll be glad you did. That was funny, yes? Russia for Russians and TMOS for all. Nostrovia. Thank you, Premier, or Vlad. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show.
He's a king.
He's king. King Putin. God damn it.
What?
I hate gluten. It's the worst. Gluten really cheeses me off. Don't you hate it too?
I do.
If you do, let us know by calling TMOS Celiac Shack. Damn it, gluten. I just hate it when I ingest you and my body mounts an immune response that attacks the small intestine. That really grinds my gears, bucko. Oh, I hate the cramping, the rash, and the stunted growth. But oh, how I do love the TMOS bonus show. The bonus show has been gluten-free since 2013. Back then, we used to bake the bonus show with wheat and rye flour, but no more. The bonus show is 100% gluten-free, and it can be yours for just a few extra pennies. Plus, you'll get access to all our bonus content, and you'll be helping TMOS. So please buy our bonus thing. Just go to our website, clickety-click. Ta-da! 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 Where is it? Ta-da!
There it is.
Thank you. The TMOS bonus show may contain tree nuts.
Mike,
thank you very much.
Remember, if you have trouble with gluten, to call the TMOS Celiac Shack.
The Celiac Shack. Get it? Celiac disease?
That's a funny disease.
Funny disease. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready to spell because you have the answers.
Yes.
I have not seen them. I did not watch the spelling bee.
Actual words that were used.
This is just me. All right, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. The first one.
Do you have all the information? Like,
I don't know if I have derivations. I do have definitions.
Oh, perfect.
All right.
Perfect.
So, Mike, here we go for you. The first word, crystallographer.
Ooh.
Crystallographer is someone who deals with the science that deals with the formation and structure of crystals. This is from round 3.
All right, hold on just a second.
Crystallographer.
CRYSTALOGRAPHER. No, wait, let me do it again. CRYSTALOGRAPHER.
Then you have to say the word again.
Crystallographer.
Sorry, that is incorrect. 2 L's in crystallographer. 2 L's in crystallographer.
So that was my only mistake, was not adding the L.
Yeah, exactly. And also, you know what I don't like about the spelling bee is in a spelling bee, when you get it wrong, they give you a ding. And that always
bell,
seems to
like
me
a regular. Is it that handheld bell that they have?
And it sounds to me like you get it right when that happens.
You also get a 45-second warning and then a 30-second warning, which intensifies your spelling.
So it's CRYSTALLOGRAPHER. P-A-R-V-A-N-U-O-G-R-A-P-H-E-R.
Exactly.
Yeah, I didn't get it, though. Sorry, give me the
Oscar,
next
your
one.
I'm
word?
here.
Parvenuism.
See,
Parvenuism.
where does the word derive from?
It's a noun meaning parvenu nature or behavior.
Does it have Greek origin?
It has great origin. One that has recently or suddenly risen to unaccustomed position of power or wealth, yet not yet gained prestige, dignity, or manner associated with. Parvenuism.
Can you repeat the information?
Yes. It is one that...
No, just have
This
him
is what
spell
they
the
did
goddamn-
yesterday. I'm
I
going by
know,
what they
but
did.
you're not going to get it anyway, so just spell it.
Why won't you root for me, man? Come on.
I'm rooting for you to win.
Give it to me again.
Parvenuism. A noun meaning one that has recently or suddenly risen to an unaccustomed position of power or wealth, but has not yet gained the prestige, dignity, or manner associated with it.
Is it from Italian origin?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. Par. P-A-R.
Oh, what did you start it with?
Okay. Menuism?
Parvenuism.
Oh, parvenuism.
Yeah, please speak distinctly.
Okay. P-A-R-E-V-E-N-S-O-N.
Mike, give him a ding. He missed that. That's right.
We use buzzers.
The answer we're looking for, Parvenuism.
Oh, close.
Parvenuism.
Didn't get a root
Very
origin.
phonetic.
Yes,
very
very
phonetic.
Yeah, I could have
like
done that.
All right, Mike, your word.
Yes, I'm ready.
Great word. Plumbiferous. Plumbiferous.
One more time. Can you not say it quickly,
Yeah, shut
please?
your mouth.
Don't get bitter because you can't spell.
All right,
All right,
all
just
right, I'm ready.
you
I'm
sit
big- I'm a big
quietly
dummy.
like
I'll sit
the
here.
lady with the red hair.
I'm still finding the forehead bleeding picture.
Thank you. Plumbiferous is an adjective meaning containing lead. Plumbiferous.
Oh, like, can you put it in a sentence?
I got it.
Yes.
Oh, I got it.
Plumdiferous.
Can you spell that one more time? Judges want to hear it one more time.
Plumdiferous.
Plumbiferous.
Oh, plumbiferous.
Biff.
Yeah, biff.
Okay. Plumbiferous. Plumbiferous.
Give yourself a ding. That is dead on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so that's our thing.
Yeah.
That says I got it right.
Yeah.
How about that?
And Oscar,
Plumbiferous.
I can
What is-
actually give you that is a Latin
In your
derivation
face.
from plumbus, meaning lead.
Yes.
That's why
my plumbing is plumbiferous.
oh, that's bad.
Plumbiferous.
That's bad, right?
Which is true,
What
by
is
the way.
what is plumbiferous?
Plumbiferous meaning having to do or containing lead. If you remember
Got it.
back to chemistry, plumbus, PB, is the symbol for lead because
Yeah,
that's the
I
Latin.
remember that.
Never
Of
buy
course.
an old house. I got a
right,
call
very
from my
good.
neighbor. The city's charging us to change our pipes from the street to our house.
Neighbor called up and said,
Because they're plumbiferous.
They're plumbiferous.
Mike, the
There
neighbor
it is.
called up and said,
Plumbiferous.
I said, how much? He said, we can talk about that when you get up.
Oh, wow. That's going to be pricey.
Beyond
Digging
the-
up pipes.
the neighbor said, do you
hate
have
my
any
life.
lead in your water? Because I think we got trouble with our pipes.
Plumbiferous.
Mike,
All right. Yes.
the word is woebegonness.
Ooh.
Woebegonness.
Keep it going, Mike. I'm rooting for you.
It's a noun related to the word woebegone, meaning strongly affected with woe. Whoa.
Oh, man.
WOEBEGONESS.
Ooh.
Does it
Great.
not have the E?
No, that's incorrect. You left out a syllable there.
Great try.
It was very close. WOEBEGONENESS. Woebegonness.
Hate this game.
Well, it's not for us, Mike. It's for kids.
We're doing it for the kids.
Yeah, we've got Grammarly. We've
All right,
got
give
spell
Oscar.
check.
Oscar.
Give
I'm
Oscar
back,
another one.
baby.
Neuter cane.
Ooh.
Neuter cane. It's a noun meaning a subtropical cyclone that is usually less than 100 miles in diameter that draws energy from sources common to both the hurricane and a frontal cyclone. Neuter cane.
Okay. Neuter cane. And I'll do what the kids do on television.
Oh, they look at their hand?
They spell it out on their hand like they're writing on their
And
hand.
if he doesn't get it, I want to try it.
Okay. And Mike,
this is
I didn't
all-
say this. Oscar, I need to say this before you spell. All points are doubled.
Oh!
All right. Very exciting. All right. Go ahead.
Hold on.
Spell it.
Neuter cane.
Neuter cane.
N E U T E R C A N E. Neuter cane.
He got that right.
Yay!
Yay!
This hand.
NEU is. I was going to go NUE, and you're right. NEU, right?
Yeah,
I was
and
gonna
she
go
works at Channel 9 now.
Who's that?
NEU.
NEU. That's it. No, very good. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mike, we have time for one more before the break.
I'm ready.
All right. Pince nez. And I'll give you a hint because this is uncommon.
Pince nez.
Pince nez is a hyphenated word. All right. So there is a hyphen in it. Pince nez is a noun meaning eyeglasses that clip to the nose with a spring action.
Ooh. Just like in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels?
Yeah, and think Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh.
Pince nez. Pince-nez. P-I-N-C-E hyphen N-E-Z.
Nailed it!
Play the music. That's a good way to end that.
Big win.
That's Oscar and Mike both getting the spelling. We
spellers.
did well.
You
That's
did very,
good.
very
We're
well.
adults.
And,
That's exciting.
And
Play
I
the
didn't
music.
The thing I didn't tell
Play
you
the
is
music.
I'm playing it. Give
Play
me
the
a second.
goddamn music.
Didn't know you were going to break
Thank
there.
you. Yeah, well, that's
on a high
we're
note,
up
man.
on 50. We're on the 50 mark. Come on.
I wanted Oscar
that's
to get a
wonderful.
chance to win.
No, sorry.
He was going to have to spell Montessorian.
Oh, I know Montessorian.
Monterrorsan.
Sure.
Thank you. We'll take a break and come back with more fun on the Mike O'Mara Show.
The Yak Shack line is ringing. The Yak Shack line is ringing.
It's time to cheer. The Yak Shack's here. So call up when you're full of beer. We're all in store for fun rapport. Call 888-920-MORE. That's 888-920-MORE.
Thank you very much. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. The problem? Premature ejaculation. Just the facts, Jack. It's not unusual. In fact, up to 39% of men experience it, so is the fun ending too quickly? Most guys aren't thrilled at the thought of opening up to a doctor about performance problems. The solution, forhims.com. The wellness brand for men. Visit forhims.com to get convenient and affordable treatment for your early arrivals. They connect you to a doctor online who can evaluate you and help identify the right treatment. Best yet, it can be delivered right to your door in discreet packaging, so no more awkward in-person doctor's appointments. So if you want to slow your roll and make the good times last, go to forhims.com. Our listeners get a special offer. You can get started for just $10. Just go to forhims.com/TMOS10. Not the regular TMOS, it's TMOS10. That's FORHIMS.com/TMOS10. See the website for full details and safety information, and we thank you. I wanted to just mention that yesterday all over the news was the fact that Alex Trebek indicates that his treatment is going extremely well for that very, very serious diagnosis of stage 4 pancreatic cancer. That, and I just want to say I hope he wins. I hope he continues to win, and, we're all rooting for him. He's become a little more than a game show host over the last few weeks. The combination of his diagnosis with James Holzhauer and that amazing run that he's having, it makes it just in the national spotlight. I don't know, things happen for a reason, but it just will be, I think it'll make the country feel good.
Yeah.
If Alex Trebek can beat this cancer. And,
God willing,
I did a deep dive because he also yesterday was speaking to maybe People Magazine. They had the excerpts of the interview where he's talking about how much his wife means to him. And there is a 24-year age difference between Alex and his wife.
Wow, she's much older.
She is 24 years his junior.
Oh, okay.
And it was, I looked over, I said, and he's talking about how great. And by the way, he's this age now, and he looks good, and she looks good. And I said, isn't that wonderful? I really can relate, Carla, to those two. And I hear, and I'm like, I hear from the couch, I literally hear no response. I said, did you hear what I said? And she says, uh-huh. I said, do you have a romantic bone in your body? I'm giving you this little, I think it's so wonderful they're together, and this is on the heels of my tremendous insecurity in general.
Right.
Maybe it's because we're making the pilgrimage up north, but I'm just feeling, come on, Carla.
No. He looks good.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think that...
What does that mean?
I mean...
What in the name of God does that mean? You mean because I'm fat? Is that what this is all about?
Now, you said you weren't going to do that anymore. Don't do that.
No. Well, what did he mean by that? Let me show you the body language. You didn't see that. Oscar just looks at me and goes, well, he looks good.
That's not you being fat. That's him being a dick. I mean,
I know. But he's saying if I was TV ready, then Carla would probably go, yeah, we're just the same. His wife is beautiful.
Is Carla engaged with Jeopardy? Does she like the Jeopardy?
Carla and I are regular.
Their thing.
Well, I know, but I was wondering. I know that you prefer Jeopardy to Wheel. Does she prefer Wheel to Jeopardy if she had to rank them?
No. She is. She prefers Jeopardy too.
Okay.
Who cannot prefer Jeopardy right now with that buzzsaw? And by the way, he had another one of those nights last night where they bring these two contestants in, and it's literally like bringing cows into a slaughterhouse. I mean, you're just seeing that. Let's welcome Phil and Debbie. You got your hand same pattern. You got your hands full tonight, and you see them with their wide eyes, getting ready to go to the sawmill, who is James Holzhauer.
And go to the guy after the second commercial break. He's got a belt around his arm trying to bring up a vein.
Y'all know what Kobe beef is?
Yeah.
Close your eyes. We'll go on 3.
It's really... It's amazing. And he is a little cocky now.
Yeah, now.
And, with the pattern. But I really, really, outside of James Holzhauer,
he's winning.
How do you not respect a man like Alex Trebek, who got that diagnosis and immediately went public with it and has continued to work diligently? Where, there are a lot of people, man, that get that and fold their tent up, and that is...
We've all dealt with people with cancer. We all have.
Right.
And what he got...
You more than anybody on this show.
But what he got was essentially a death sentence. I mean, it was deep. It was stage 4 at diagnosis. That's a tent-folding situation.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We don't know yet.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah, and you know what? And Oscar, I don't like to say that, but it does make me, I don't think he would come out and mention tumors reduced by 50% or that progress was being made. I really don't think he would do that. I don't think it would be any. There's no angle that I see.
Okay. And I'm not playing the end game either.
Yes.
What I was agreeing with Mike, the fact that
do you think he's doing it's honorable. Do you think he's doing happy talk by doing that, or what?
We mentioned this briefly: the power of prayer and
positive thinking,
and how that's. If doctors are boggled by the idea that this has happened so quickly, that's not natural. I mean, this is a death sentence, right?
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
They got the 2%. What is it?
98%
fatality rate.
9% fatality rate.
No, 98.
9% survival rate.
I'm sorry, 92%, 91% fatality, 9% survival. Right. To be part of that 9%.
Yeah, but you know what? 9%. It happens.
Yeah.
It does happen.
It does happen.
So you're saying I got a chance?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're a monster.
A 91 is a B+ in any grading system.
He's all ramped up. We better do Oscar's take. Let's take a break.
Oscar's
we're going to do that when we come back right here.
That spelling bee really got me moving.
Let's record it and then delete it. Okay.
Full of gadgets. What it is. Yeah. Yeah. Well, he looks good.
Well, what do you expect?
We'll
look like a funhouse mirror.
Yeah. I asked for a towel today. She forgot that too.
Oh, yeah. Oh God.
Yeah. In the shower saying, "Can you get me a towel?" Yeah. Oh, I forgot. You're not on my mind. Anyway, we'll take a break, and we'll come back with more fun. Oscar's take on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Oh, man! Dan the Fan Man can't be here as he's busy helping the peace process in North Virginia. So I'm here as his backup. It's your man, Oscar Fantana. That's right. And when I'm not harassing Rob or mispronouncing again, I'm making one of my 800 shows. In fact, I'm announcing show number 801. I'm here to tell you all about Tech Fan 101. It's the newest show with me, alongside Dan the Fan Man. We talk about anything and everything fan. This podcast is so hot, the only thing that can cool us down are some high-quality fans. And don't just take my word for it. Hear what my wife has to say. Fanning the BIOS.
What, I'm supposed to do Shannon? I'm not going to do Shannon's voice. I don't do girls' voices.
Or how about my favorite little guy, Phantos?
The dog? What are you doing?
So don't forget to buy a fan.
What are we even promoting? Buy a bonus show. That's real. Dan, go home.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by ZipRecruiter. Hiring challenging. You know that, but there's one place you can go where hiring is simple, fast, and smart. It's the place where growing businesses connect with qualified candidates. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com. ZipRecruiter sends your job to over 100 of the web's leading job boards, but they don't stop there. With their powerful matching technology, ZipRecruiter scans thousands of resumes to find people with the right experience and invites them to apply for your job. As applications come in, ZipRecruiter analyzes each one and spotlights the top candidates so you never miss a great match. ZipRecruiter is so effective that 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. Or as Dan O'Brien would say, within the first day. Right now, our listeners can try ZipRecruiter for free at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/TMOS. That's ZipRecruiter.com/TMOS. Remember, ZipRecruiter.com/TMOS. ZipRecruiter is the smartest way to hire. And now, it's time for Oscar's Take.
Oscar's Take, little buddy.
A review and comment on the news of the day that only our Bolivian bloviator can do. The views expressed by Oscar Santana in no way reflect the views of the Mike O'Mara Show, its listeners, or the right-thinking people of the United States. And now, without further ado, it's time for Oscar's Take.
Oscar's Take!
Oscar, Dollar Tree is adding alcoholic drinks to about 1,000 Family Dollar stores in its latest effort to turn around the struggling chain.
Yes.
Chesapeake, Virginia-based Dollar Tree. There's your problem.
I didn't know they were based
There's your
there.
problem right
That's terrific.
Chesapeake, Virginia-based Dollar Tree. How come we ain't making more money?
I got 4 quarters. Does that give me anything? Thar.
They announced the plans Thursday, saying it would also expand freezers and coolers at about 400 Family Dollar stores. The company recently announced plans to close up to 390 Family Dollar stores this year, mostly in the second quarter. In a normal year, it closes about 75. Dollar Tree acquired Family Dollar in 2015, but the acquisition has dragged the company's finances. Family Dollar's same-store sales rose only 0.1% in 2018 and 0.4% in 2017, prompting
Family Dollar
efforts.
bowls.
Family Dollar whiskey.
Fellas, this is
Family Dollar acne wash.
This is about the Chinese.
Chinese.
As most of their products come from China.
Yes.
The looming trade war and the tariffs have taken their forecast to another level.
Do the Chinese provide things like
Family Dollar AA battery?
It's going to cost them more, and you can't be Family Dollar and jack up the prices.
Right.
But you can start selling hooch, which I think is genius.
Yeah.
Something that's local, won't be tariffed, don't get fancy. A lot of Jack Daniels, a lot of Wild Turkey, get the local vodkas involved.
Chesapeake, Virginia vodka.
And by the way, as a man who's been to Chesapeake, Virginia, a beautiful place.
Thank you very
Shockingly
much.
enough.
That's
Shockingly
good.
enough.
You're listening to Oscar's Take, ladies and gentlemen.
Oscar's Take.
Chinese.
Chinese.
What is wrong with your board today?
It is not responding to my loving touch.
Get the paddles.
There you go.
Oscar, Sacha Baron Cohen says Pamela Anderson's marriage to Kid Rock ended because of her involvement in the Borat movie. Just a funny story. Borat is obsessed with Pam throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And there's a scene towards the end where he tries to kidnap her at an autograph signing. As you probably know by now, she was actually in on the joke. In a new interview, Sacha Baron Cohen says he texted Pamela after she showed Kid Rock the movie. He asked her how it went, and she said they were getting divorced. Yeah, he asked her why, and she wrote back, the movie. He adds, quote, I thought it was a joke, but then a few weeks later they got divorced, and they put the reason for divorce, Borat. So it had some casualties. Do you think this is true? That's interesting.
And remember to call her the way Borat did. He called her Pamela.
Pamela.
I think it's true, and I'll tell you why. Because it painted America in a bad light. And if you really look at the root of this, and this isn't going to be funny, that I don't want Kid Rock, or Kid as I used to know him when I used to watch him on MTV, to be this uber patriot that he could not handle his wife being part of a movie that paints America in a bad light. And
really?
Because
wow.
think about the context.
True.
Think about the context of the movie. It all comes down to politics. And if you're sitting there at home and she's laughing and he can't laugh at a joke, or he's in a mind space that just won't allow him to. Wow. And as of late, we've seen his politics.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
It would actually draw to a conclusion.
Maybe it's true then. That's interesting. I like that take. Yeah. You're listening to Oscar's Take, ladies and gentlemen. Oscar, Mountain Dew just rolled out a new flavor called Mountain Dew Liberty Brew. I bet Kid Rock would like it.
Yeah.
And it's a soda that honors the 50 states of America by combining 50 flavors into one. And somehow it turned out bright blue. It's not clear what the 50 flavors actually are, and Mountain Dew isn't saying, but it's probably a lot of different fruit-based flavors based on the reviews. The drink started showing up in stores over Memorial Day weekend, and people who tried it said it tastes like grape, berries, and tropical fruits mixed together.
Delicious.
Sounds tasty.
This just in from the Spiewak Comedy Corral. More like Mountain Don't.
Thank you for selling it.
Am I right?
Yeah, beautiful. Right, ladies?
More
Give me
like
back my
Mountain
paper. I may
Dew.
use that on
Thank
cake
you.
and cookies.
Thank you.
More like Mountain
Literally, Rob is so excited. He writes me a note and says, "Say this." I think this is an epidemic in our world. I love mixing sodas. I rather do it on my own in one of those Coca-Cola freestyle machines.
Yeah, it's fun.
This reminds me of what Red Bull is doing now, Mike. Red Bull is no longer just your sugar-free Red Bull or just Red Bull in general. They've got all these flavors. They came out with a line of flavors that you're like, oh, right, a mango, orange.
I hate mango.
Any options, they could work.
Yeah.
And then this is where they jumped the shark. Summer Breeze. Summer Breeze Red Bull.
Me feel
you're like,
fine.
oh, Summer Breeze, refreshing, should be great. Let me throw it in my gullet and see what I'll pay $5 for this can. I throw it in, and it's coconut infused Red Bull. I'm gonna throw up all over the place. I throw it right in the trash can outside CVS, and I want my money back. I'm not man enough to ask for it, so I go and put another $5 for Old Faithful. So what I would say is this: don't get too creative, people. You're not going to make everyone happy. You're just not.
That's it. What are you playing?
Summer Breeze.
Okay.
Where do you weigh in on Dr. Pepper?
I love Dr. Pepper.
I do too, and that's apparently that's 23 flavors. Maybe that's the ceiling.
They don't mess around though. Dr. Pepper, you got the 10, you got the Diet Dr. Pepper.
Love the Dr.
You don't
Pepper
get
10.
these crazy flavors from them.
Who's more kooky, beverage company executives or radio station executives?
It's a tie.
Let's try a new flavor, and then let's mix them all together and sell them to the Christians.
Here's a new energy drink called Burt.
Yeah. You are listening to Oscar's Take, ladies and gentlemen.
Take.
Oscar, Gallup does a poll every year that asks Americans if they think different things are morally acceptable or not. We have 13. We will tear through these. Stop me if you want to. Number 13, having an affair. Only 9% of people think it's morally acceptable. Number 12, cloning animals. 31% say that it's morally acceptable.
I think it's acceptable.
And only 12% say cloning humans would be okay. Pornography. 37% of people say yes.
Pretty high.
That's down from last year where 43% were okay with it.
Well, I think if you looked at people's history on their computer or their IP traffic, you find otherwise.
Yeah. Let's see. The next one is...
Mike, we are literally... The world has not... I guess at least this country. If you've got high-speed internet, you are procreating at a slower rate. Answer me this. Why do you think? Because guys are staying home and watching the computer.
Yeah, you're right. That's absolutely true. We need to get our act together. Number 10, abortion, 42%. Let's see. That's pretty steady. Number 9, wearing fur, 53% people, over half think it's okay.
It depends how good it looks.
And how cold it is.
Yeah, and
60% of people are okay with the death penalty.
You got to pay the piper, Mike. I've always said that.
Wow. Only 63% of people are okay with people being gay. I didn't know it was that low. Yeah, 63%.
I thought you were cooler if you were gay at this point in our lives.
I thought it was
Mike, it
fine.
says here 8% of people are okay with having sex with a cloned animal.
Thank you, Rob Spiewak. 65% say it's okay to smoke pot. 68% say it's okay to gamble. 71% are okay with sex before marriage. 77% are okay with divorce. 79% are okay with drinking alcohol.
Only 79?
Only 79%.
Lord.
And using birth control, this is interesting because abortion's only 42%, but birth control, 92% of people say it's okay.
Wow.
There you go.
These questions are all personal,
yes,
and hot topic questions.
Yes, they are.
I really believe all the sexual ones you can take out because everybody wants to feel like they're moral in one way or another. The divorce one blows my mind, Mike.
Yes,
it blows my mind.
A lot of people okay with divorce
because if Shannon always says to me, she goes, "If you try to divorce me, I'll cut you." And I say,
good for her.
I say, look, let's not get violent about that. We got a solid prenup. I think that it says that you don't get anything if you hurt me. So ideally, I don't like the theory of divorce either. Like I think that it's the Catholic in me says no, but there's so many people.
When I
that
think
are
Oscar,
for it.
I think Catholic.
There's so many people, Mike, that say they're for it. It's 71%. 71%.
Yes, 77%.
Don't get married.
Pope Zabios.
Don't get married. Don't get
divorce
married.
is, hold on, divorce. 77% of people think divorce is okay.
Yeah. How do you
Almost
feel
80%.
about it?
Huh? I'm against it. Anyway, thank you very much. I was
And
guessing
yet
the
you
first
keep-
two. And at least I keep doing it. It's a contradiction that is me. You're listening to Oscar's Take, ladies and gentlemen.
One of these
Finally,
days.
Oscar, I hold in my hand the last Oscar's Take item here.
I know.
Ben & Jerry's just announced they're planning to make ice cream that's infused with CBD. That's pot, right?
Yes.
That's Mary
Yes.
Jane. Once it's fully legalized as an ingredient for food and beverages. By the way, they are popping up down here. They're just like vape shops were a few years ago.
Really?
Where they're
CBD.
which concerns
Yeah, you know
me a
me.
little bit. You know, the fly-by-night, here, try this, and then you wig out.
Are you down with CBD?
Yeah, you know me. Sorry.
CDB. What's CDB? Do you know what CDB is?
I do not. Cecil B. DeMille made a lot of great movies.
Elvin Bishop sitting on a bale of hay. He ain't good looking, but he sure can play. And there's ZZ Top. It's CDB is the Charlie Daniels band.
Oh, okay.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Very good.
Thank you.
Anyway, once it's fully legalized, it could be soon. The FDA is holding a public hearing on legalizing CBD in foods. That should be followed by a few years of politicians grandstanding, and then eventually we'll get our CBD-infused ice cream.
Like,
That's the last item we have.
There are cookies for animals that are sold with CBD here in the D.C. area. There's a pizza joint down the street that changed their name to 420 Pizza. That's sold with God knows how much the pizzas cost and what you get for it, but it says 420 Pizza right down the street.
I bet you finish every pie.
And then,
wow.
So the idea that Ben & Jerry's, much like some alcohol companies around the world, have bought into these conglomerates, these grow houses on the West Coast, like software companies. They've bought in.
Like a Futures, right?
Because they bought into 10 to 20% of these companies because they are diversifying and seeing the future where a lot of, not just CBD, but marijuana, actual marijuana, THC infused, will be everywhere. So if you're an alcohol company and you buy 20% of a marijuana grow company, you're doing that because you know in the long run people are going to have choices. So instead of beer and wine, they're going to choose beer, wine, marijuana. So this is just a step in the right direction. A big company like Ben & Jerry's should see and get involved early, as their ice cream is the choice of I guess the national pot hit of America. That's where you would go to.
I finished 3 pints of Heath Bar Crunch. That's it. That's Oscar's Take, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a break.
Oscar's Take.
When we come back, it's the last audio vault of the week, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with more on the Mike O'Mara Show.
It's Political Persuasions.
Hey, it's Chris Freitz with Political Persuasions, and this week it's Mueller time. Robert Mueller, the special counsel, finally speaks after 2 years, and Mike doesn't like what he has to say. Plus, I convinced Mike impeachment is a bad idea, and the president as the chief petty officer? Tune in.
You can download Political Persuasions at politicalpersuasions.com, iTunes,
Yes.
Stitcher, and wherever fine podcasts are found.
Bad words this
Welcome.
week on Persuasions.
Yeah, we got into it a little bit.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. This just in from the TMOS Las Vegas Show Business Headquarters. Here's a list of things that will not be happening at the TMOS 10th Anniversary Spectacular. To be clear, the following events have been canceled. Senior Citizen Goth Square Dancing. Glass Blowing with Oscar Zaballos.
Oh, excuse me.
The Rob Spiewak Hot Fish Tasting. Mike O'Mara and his Singing Rodents. Intermediate Ham Smoking Seminar. Intermediate. 90-minute Hal Linden Q&A. Matty Masiello's Hostile Work Environment Pro Tips. Chrissy Metz's Eat This, Not That. The Matt Bloom Rev Up Your Personality Workshop. These things will not be happening.
No.
Management regrets the inconvenience. However, we can confirm that on November 16th, 2019, the TMOS crew will be in the Zappos corporate headquarters with the best show in Las Vegas. Night 2, all new. Tickets are on sale now at MikeO'MaraShow.com, but only while they last. And I was thinking about show number 2.
Yes.
There is no way that the beginning of show number 2 does not begin with us in the audience.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I love it.
I'll figure out a way that you won't know when it's going to happen.
I love it.
How dark can we make it in that theater?
Oh, it's pitch black.
That's the reason
Pitch
Hal
black?
Linden
Yeah.
canceled. He didn't like the darkness.
Write it down. I think out loud, and I do it here. So if you missed out on the first sold-out show, this is your big chance. The TMOS 10th Anniversary Spectacular. 2 nights. First night is sold out. Second night is selling tickets fast. Brought to you by Zappos, and we thank you. Without further ado, let's open up the audio vault for Friday, May 31st, 2019. Rob Spiewak.
Seems like we were just talking about him yesterday, but say hello to your favorite Austrian rapper, Mike.
Hello.
Arnold.
Hello.
Hi, Arnold.
Hello.
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 There's just a whimsical sort of tone.
Hello, Arnold.
Hi, Arnold.
Hello.
Trick or treat.
Hello.
Arnold, what do you say when you get a brand new Hummer?
Hello.
Okay.
He said the same thing. Same thing to the house cleaner.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah.
Hello.
What'd you say when you went into the laundry room exposed fully?
Hello.
Okay.
All right. I bring him up for a reason. I know that, Mike, you're out there. You have your website, MikeOVO.com, where you like to do voiceover work and, narrate things.
It's amazing how much traffic that gets.
Well, everybody needs narrators, and that's why.
Is that still a thing? Is that still out there?
Yes, absolutely.
It's still live.
Mm-hmm.
How's it doing, Pony? Do you still check it every day?
That's great. I get all the emails.
Very good. Okay, that tells me all I need to know.
We got an email today that said
hello.
But
I haven't gotten one voiceover job through that website.
No, you have. You did the barbecue thing.
What?
Yeah, one.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Damn it. It would have been so much better
All
if I
that
didn't get
effort.
anything.
You got one.
And it was fantastic.
I got one. Yeah,
You got
one.
one.
That's just the same. Yeah. By the way, what is it, Pony, if people want to send me a voiceover request?
You can go to MikeOVO.com and fill in the form at the bottom of the page.
Super easy.
Remember to click send.
Yes, do click send.
Yeah, and say
hello.
Feel the energy.
Mike.
All right.
I can see why it might be tough to land a gig when Arnold is doing VO now.
Oh, wow, that's exciting.
He's narrating a documentary called The Wonders of the Sea.
Now, throughout the years, I've done so many different kinds of work, but never this kind. Narrator of a documentary film. When I saw the footage, I realized right away this is a visual feast. It was not just entertaining, but it was also, from an environmental point of view, a message. Let's keep our ocean clean, and let's keep our world clean. I think this is so brilliant about this film because it makes you want to go and put a scuba tank on and go down into the water and explore it yourself. We discovered there's a whole other world there.
Here is the first track of his narration from the film.
Hello.
Also, the first trailer for Rambo Last Blood dropped yesterday.
With Sly?
Do you remember First Blood?
No.
Yes,
Yeah, you do. Remember,
of course you do.
The iconic, he walks into town with a bag and...
Don't watch action adventure. Never have.
Well,
you know what I
remember
watched
the
for the
film,
first time?
though.
I watched Indiana Jones and the Skull.
Crystal Skull.
I watched that. The Crystal. I watched that for the first time.
Not the best
worst
Indiana
to
Jones
watch
movie.
of all
Yeah,
to watch.
really?
Yes.
Yeah, my kid liked it.
I like
so,
the open where
yeah.
he gets in the refrigerator to dodge the nuclear blast. That was fun.
Yeah, very exciting. Yeah, very, very exciting.
And Karen Allen looking wonderful.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Yuck. Anyway,
Yuck.
He made First Blood 40 years ago, I suppose, and now he's making Last Blood, in which he battles a drug cartel. He does some narration on this.
I've lived in a world of death. I've watched people I've loved die. Some fast with a bullet. Some not enough left to bury.
Could we get a glass of water to the voiceover booth, please?
Is he smoking
This is
or something?
going to be a blockbuster hit.
Really?
It looks phenomenal.
Oh, okay. All right.
Have you seen Creed?
Yeah.
Great band.
Did you like Creed?
I watched 2 minutes of it. It's crap.
Oh, well, then you haven't seen the movie. The movie's great, actually.
It's Creed is actually amazing. Was it a boxing movie?
Yeah. Yes.
I like the passive
watch the whole
aggressive.
thing.
I like the passive aggressive when he says, "Well, actually, it's great."
They're both. This is the thing. If you never watched any, if you weren't a Rocky fan, you're not going to be a fan of this.
Hello.
Right? And if you're not a Sylvester Stallone fan, you're not going to be a fan of this.
All right.
And
Then I won't be.
If you don't know,
I love Talia Shire.
And if you don't know Rambo, and you're not a Rambo fan, you're definitely not going to get into this.
I'm not a Sly fan.
Oh, so then,
What about Sly and the Family Stone?
Oh, love him.
Great funk. Eric Quick is a great guy for submitting audio. He does a lot of great promos. Some of your favorite promos come from a listener named
I'm
Eric
aware
Quick.
of that man. A genius.
And he did a little matchup. He wanted to elevate Mike from Yuba to the next level, Mike.
Can't wait.
So,
wow, I knew this might happen.
So
Here we
here's a
go.
wonderful remix.
I got the itches from boning bitches. From boning bitches with little white bugs. All right. Mike from Yuba, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry. God, I suck.
I know we're a minute or two over, but I have to play you this because it is the douche chilliest tape I have seen, maybe in calendar year 29.
Wow.
Let me set it up for you. David Lee Roth is at a music festival in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And he's walking down the hall of his hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Now, keep in mind, this is not David Lee Roth from the 1984 album. This is David Lee Roth in a tweed jacket and a driving cap. He looks like a dad. He looks like...
Because he's bald.
Yeah, he's bald, and he looks like, a young child's father. And he hears Van Halen coming from a hotel room. So he knocks on the door to announce that, I'm David Lee Roth, and you're listening to Van Halen. But by all appearances... they don't know who the hell he is.
Which room had the Van Halen sound?
These guys.
Right here?
Yes.
Oh, no.
It's a happy neighbor. We heard some Van Halen here, and my name's David Lee Roth, and I'm right across the hallway.
He's laughing. They're not.
Want to know, we're on our way to EDC, but the fellas here were coming down the hallway, and they said, we heard some Van Halen, and I said, no. So we're your neighbors, guys. We're off to EDC. We're doing a show. And we heard one of the fellas said, I heard some Van Halen through the doorway. So I am Van Halen.
You hear him referring to EDC. That's the Erectile Dysfunction Conference. So
Hey, Mike, he's also a client. That's your Magic Audio Vault. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Oh, my God, another one in the can. Thanks for joining us for another riveting episode of TMOS. If you have a message you'd like to hear on our Tuesday mailbag, send it to Rob with 2 B's at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Tickets continue this weekend. We want it to be a big sales weekend for our Saturday night, November 16th show. That's our second show. First one sold out. Second one going fast. So go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and get your tickets to night 2 of the TMOS 10th Anniversary Spectacular. We'll see you there. For Oscar Santana and Rob Spiewak, Mike O'Mara thanking you for your continued amazing support for the best part of your day, the Mike O'Mara Show. Bye-bye, everybody.
So long.
Ciao, ciao.
Before you go, please make a mental note. Today's show was made possible by the TMOS bonus packages. You can secure yours right now by going to MikeO'MaraShow.com and clicking on the red bonus banner. Buy it or give it. Either way, you're helping out TMOS, and that's a good thing. Thank you, and go in peace.
Hello, 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 hello,
Mike O'Mara,
hello.
Radio Entertainment.
Mike from Yuba again. Mr. O'Mara, love all your work. I mean, all of it. Anyway, so went after listening to you guys about cocktails. Never had a Moscow Mule. Went to a local Native American bad place here in California. Ordered my very first